Hey everybody, I Eat Rocks here, and it has finally happened. Titanfall has dropped, and I've been playing it as much as I can this past week, and I've just been really enjoying myself. And if I had to describe this game in one word, it would still be fun. And this is a word that I have heard people describe Titanfall with a lot since it came out, which kind of seems a little bit obvious. Of course, it would be fun. If a game's not fun, why do people play it? But I think that there are a lot of games that have more complicated descriptions as to why you play them. I'm thinking about games like Dark Souls or even something like Super Meat Boy, which is really challenging. And I would describe those games as fun, but it's not the same sort of fun that I get while I'm playing Titanfall. So today I wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit about why Titanfall is so much fun. I'm going to start off here just talking about the super obvious reasons. And the one reason that I think is just essential to why I enjoy playing Titanfall so much, it is that traversal of the maps when you're playing as a pilot. I just think that it's a rush. It feels like a roller coaster. You're so fast, wall running, wall hanging, mantling. It just feels smooth. It feels really easy to grasp, and it definitely is one of my favorite parts of this game, period, which says a lot. I don't remember the last time I played a game and thought, well, getting around the map is probably one of the most fun parts of it, but it definitely is. The other thing about this game that is so satisfying is just how responsive this game is. It feels like the lag compensation isn't so severe as other shooters that I've played recently, and it just feels like when you're shooting at someone, they're taking damage in real time, and it feels just solid. So that's really important. And then the last obvious thing is just pacing. This game is so quick. It is a mile per minute, and you just kind of strap yourself in and go crazy. And I think that the speed that you play this game at, it really lends itself to just a good time. So those are the obvious reasons I think that anyone who's played this game would say, oh, well, these things are really fun. And I didn't even mention Titan combat, which is a different kind of heavy tank-like gameplay that is also really fun. I'm going to spend a little bit of time now talking about the psychology of why Titanfall is so fun. So I studied psychology in college, and I didn't specialize in behavioral psychology, but I did have a full year of behavioral psychology courses that I took, and one of the most important parts of behavioral psychology is learning about reinforcement schedules, which is basically ways of controlling the environment enough to elicit a desired behavior out of your test subject. So the famous example of this would be Skinner boxes with rats and buttons inside, and you could teach these rats to push the buttons to get food, and at the time that was a pretty breakthrough thing. Now Titanfall actually uses some very interesting reinforcement schedules, and I think to talk about this we're going to have to really briefly talk about punishment. Now the punishment in Titanfall is death, and that's what's called a negative punishment, because what happens when you die is that you're taken out of the action and you're denied access to the fun stuff, which is playing this game. So the first thing that you'll notice about playing Titanfall when you play a few rounds is that you don't seem to die as much as you may in other shooters. Now a part of that is because of having 6-on-6 combat with bots and having targets that you can fight a lot easier and that are a lot less dangerous to take on than human players. So the smartest thing, the single smartest thing that Titanfall did was allowing players to feel the success of contributing and getting points through killing grunts and specters and other things like that without dying as much as you do in another shooter. So what this does is it allows the player to feel like they're having more impact in the game. And this isn't specific to Titanfall. I'm thinking of games like Battlefield, where you get points for doing things other than killing enemy players. So you get points for healing and resupplying and things like that, and that feels good. So even players who aren't as good at shooting other people can feel like they're contributing to the team. The other thing that's really smart about Titanfall is that when you lose your Titan, which in any other game would be like, oh, well, you know, this is a big deal, you lost your Titan, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna die. A lot of times when you lose a Titan fight, or when your Titan gets destroyed in Titanfall, you can eject and get away, and you can continue fighting. So you can fight for a long time, long enough to get your Titan to come down, call in your Titan, get in your Titan, and then continue to fight. Your Titan will become disabled, you can eject from your Titan, go on fighting some more. So this not tying player death to losing your Titan was incredibly smart. So then Titanfall also has a lot of other systems in place that other shooters have. I'm thinking of the ranking up system and the unlock system for weapons and gadgets and whatnot. And this was first popularized in Modern Warfare, so it's not really surprising that the people who made that game have implemented a very similar system in Titanfall. And what these do is that they reward the player to keep playing just to continue to unlock stuff. The problem with this sort of system, though, is that it's really rewarding at first because you level up so fast, you unlock so many new gadgets right away, and eventually it slows down a lot, and it can really start to feel like a grind to continue to rank up. So they introduced the burn card system into Titanfall, which is really smart because it's tied to completing certain actions, but it doesn't reward you every time you do that action with a burn card. They're tied to challenges and things like that. So you can, it really feels in the game like they're kind of random. And that sort of reinforcement schedule is called an intermittent reinforcement schedule. And the most common place that you'll see this sort of reinforcement schedule is actually in gambling. So Electric Keno or slot machines or whatever, they all use this intermittent reinforcement, where if you play a certain number of times, you're going to average a certain number of rewards. And this is obviously, if it's in these gambling machines, it's very addictive to people who play them. So it was very clever of them to introduce burn cards and that sort of randomization. And then, so you unlock the burn cards and it feels random, but you know if you keep playing you're going to unlock them. But the other thing about it is that you don't know which burn cards you're going to get. And some burn cards are a lot more valuable and a lot more useful than others. So there's always an impetus to keep playing a little bit longer to get that new burn card. So, in case you can't tell by this video, I'm really impressed with the game design behind Titanfall. I really feel like the designers are pushing the envelope on these reinforcement strategies, and it's almost bordering on nefarious game design, really, because the more addictive a game is to play, it's really shows the time and finesse that the developer took to put into it to make this game fun, but also reward you so much and make you want to keep coming back to play it. So yeah, this was kind of a technical video, a little bit rambly, but I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, bye.